And it's recording now.
All right.
Yo, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bootio's Boy Wrestling Fan Interview. Today I'm joined with my very special guest, live from Maine. He looks like Sheamus. He's in his Twitch stream area, I think. I'm here with the one and only Kalvin Strange. How are you doing today?
One and only. That was a great intro. I'm doing very well. I kind of stepped on your toes during your intro there. I always somehow commit a social faux pas. It doesn't matter if the person I'm talking to is several states away. I'm gonna find a way to mess it up somehow.
Are you staying safe, healthy during this COVID-19 pandemic?
I am really trying to. The main thing that I've been doing since the start of this new year is trying to just run as much as possible, because I haven't been in the gyms. I worked at a gym, and that's where I got my workouts in. And once COVID hit, I had to stop there because my partner is high risk. So basically, I just had to figure out my own way to stay relatively in shape while sitting at home for an entire year. So I started running and just doing a lot of body weight exercise. Luckily, with the pandemic assistance that we got, we had enough money that we were, eating well, eating healthy. And other than that, it's just trying to keep my mental health. That's the hard one.
Now, my first interaction with you was actually not in person or on here. The first time I saw you, I'll clarify. It was a promo for Let's Wrestle, I think the summer of 2019, and you were in a barn, promoting your title match against Danger Kid, I think it was. And you were working out, and then you were just talking smack, and then you beat some old lady in Yahtzee, and then you rolled off on an ATV and missed a basketball shot. Can you tell me and the fans that are watching, what went into making that promo? Because that's one of the greatest promos I've ever seen. It was just so funny to watch.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. That was a really fun promo to shoot, and actually, it kind of came together as a spur of the moment idea. I was planning on filming something else, I believe, like a different promo. I can't even remember what my idea was, and then I think that was only a few days before the show. I mean, it was really close to showtime, and I was really needing to get this promo in. And that's at my partner's parents' house, actually, or where they no longer own the house, but they had the house at the time. And we just looked around everything and just said, what can we do here? What can I be great at? We got this old piece of wood. I could snap this piece of wood. And you got a bench. Yeah, I could bench press. And I mean, the funny part is I'm bench pressing 180
3-pound weights.
Yeah, not even heavy weights. And I'm like, ugh! And then beating his mom and Yahtzee. And then the basketball shot, that was okay. That whole shot, the whole promo, that was only the second time. We did one dry run. We did one dry run of everything, and I think I messed it up somewhere. I can't remember. And then the second take, it was all just one take, and so it was I'm either gonna make this shot and I'm gonna look awesome, or I'm gonna miss the shot and it's gonna be hilarious. So it's either way, it's gonna be great. So yeah, it all kind of came out of the spur of the moment, and I'm just kind of a set it up and let's go kind of guy. So
now, I haven't really seen much of you, and I don't mean that in a rude way. Don't take it offensive. But I haven't seen much of you because of the pandemic. Let's Wrestle has not been running. You're the interviewer for kind of what I do for The Road. If that guy Ethan Scott can't make it, or even Perry Von Vicious was doing it. So where have you been in the wrestling world lately?
I have been nowhere. I've been completely off the grid. I was, doing the Let's Wrestle shows, and I was at the time too experiencing a bit of fatigue. I was getting really tired from 3.5 years of doing stuff just about every weekend or every other weekend. And actually, by that point, I was only doing about one match a month, and I was still feeling really drained, just mentally, spiritually, just having trouble finding the inspiration. So the pandemic, it's not a good thing by any means, but it's given me time to retreat into my lair and kind of reset myself. And I now that I've been away from it for so long, I'm only a couple months away from it being a year since my last match. Um, Now I can't wait. Now I'm just itching to get back in there. And the same goes for doing the interviews at like the Limitless shows. I have a blast doing the interviews. I did improv theater and lots of theater at my college, so getting to interact with like wrestlers and just us having fun and coming up with promos on the fly. I love that, so I can't wait to get back.
Now, what have you been doing to like stay training? Because obviously, I think every wrestler, in my opinion, if they're away from a year or at least like 5 months or longer, they have ring rust.
Oh,
They have a lot of ring rust,
yeah.
and it can be from taking a bump to jumping off the top rope, or even
Sure.
just getting into the ring. What have you been doing to knock off the ring rust a little bit when you're ready
No,
to go back?
sure, yeah. I mean, I've taken a lot of thought, there's nothing quite like being in a ring. You can't fully train for it unless you're actually in it. And I know that when I get back to it, the bumps are going to hurt a lot again, which after a while you're in there, you get your back nice and strong, the bumps don't hurt as much, your neck's all worn in, you got strength going. You take a year off, I mean, it's like I'm going back to training again. So my main thing that I've been focusing on is I did a lot of strength training, heavy lifting when I was working out at the gym. What's that? You did it too?
No, I had a question.
Oh, sure. What's up?
When you say strength training, do you mean like with heavier dumbbells or like the still 2 pound dumbbells like in that promo?
Yeah, a little bit more than the 2 pounders in the promo. At the time of that promo, I was doing a lot of deadlifts with a big barbell, and I was working my way up to I think I was just at 240 pounds with the deadlifts. So I was really trying to gain weight. I was trying to gain mass, but I've always had trouble with that. I have a skinny frame, and I have trouble eating a lot. So
we're the complete opposite person then.
yeah. Now, see, I wish I had the ability to put the food away because then I could be really pushing the weight. So, long story short, basically, I am doing agility training. So all the running and trying to get my footwork faster, trying to get my balance stronger. And I'm actually looking to come back as more of a junior heavyweight. I'm trying to wrestle more my size because I've never been heavy or a heavyweight. I mean, like my max was like 195 pounds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but in
It
terms
could be
of
better.
heavyweight wrestlers, and I'm trying to wrestle like a heavyweight a lot of the time. So, and that's just because I'm not a very agile person. So basically, my training has been sort of trying to get more balance, be in touch with my my lower body weight, and become faster. I'm trying to become a faster wrestler, basically.
Now, one thing I want to talk to you about. You have a weird Skype name, like when it says.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm gonna look it up real quick on from my phone because I don't know what it is.
I have no idea what you'll get if you. I hope you'll get what it's in reference to if you search it.
Fred Yucks? Is that it?
No, that's. I mean, it's Fred. I mean, what kind of rating is this podcast? Am I allowed to?
Wait. Okay. Kami 302. What does that mean?
I mean.
Or is that just the thing that they said? You have like a weird Skype name thing. Like, what is that in reference to?
Are you talking about paramecium? Or are you
Yeah,
talking about the name? I don't know if I can say my name on here. I don't know what your podcast is rated. Is
you
this
can say it. Like I
okay?
don't
I don't
care.
know. It's a
You
family
the
show.
only the only rule that that I have is just like you can swear, but don't
Okay.
take it over the top.
Okay,
Like
I got you.
this isn't trailer trash. Like that's
Okay.
not what this podcast is about.
All right, I got you. Okay, well, my name is Fred Fucks on here, and the reason it is that is because I'm a huge fan of the angry video game nerd, who is a classic YouTuber, classic internet video game reviewer, and he reviews a bunch of games that were made by this company called LJN. And on one of the games in the credits, in the opening credits, it says that it was produced by Fred Fucks. It is literally spelt like that, and he just loses it. And he's just like, that is so appropriate. And I just don't like to give my real name out to anything, so
Oh yeah,
it's the
that's fine.
first name that I thought of when I signed up for Skype. So there you go.
I thought that was like your real name, but I couldn't pronounce like the last word, and then you just said it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you talked about how you're trying to put on weight and gain muscle. What's your diet been like?
Oh, my diet now is nothing like it was then. My diet has actually changed quite a bit. I learned basically that I can't really handle caffeine anymore. It's just messing up my stomach a bunch. So I had to wean off caffeine, basically. I can drink some black tea. That's my go-to now. But anything that's too crazy with caffeine, I can't handle. So it's been drawing back on the caffeine, trying to eat chicken and pork. We eat a lot of chicken and pork with a veggie, with potato. Is very very Mainer, very northeast, kind of food. Just the
Lobster.
classics. I'm not a huge lobster guy personally. I don't eat a lot of lobster, and I can't really afford it right now. Is another reason why I don't. Maybe I'd like it more if I could pay for it, but so it's just been trying to do the meats, a lot of chicken, tuna fish. I'm a big tuna fish guy. A little bit of salmon here and there. I'd eat more of that. You're not a tuna fish guy? Is that what that grimace is for?
Yeah, I don't like tuna fish a
Oh
lot.
my god, a tuna melt. Tuna melt.
Tuna
That's like
melt's good. I'll
okay.
eat that, but
All
not
right.
like a regular, just plain tuna fish sandwich.
I'll eat tuna anywhere. I eat it right out of the can. I just drain the water and eat it out with a fork. When I was really suffering with money, I would get those minute rice cups, and I would just nuke it for a minute, and then open a can of tuna and just dump them both in a bowl, and that was like my lunch.
For a moment, I thought you were gonna say open a can of whoop asses when you said open
Yeah.
a can.
Yeah.
From Waterboy.
Yeah. Heat up the rice and then beat someone up.
Now, you lost your title. Let's wrestle.
Gotta bring that up.
Well, I want to know: are you gonna go back after Mike McCarthy when hopefully Let's Wrestle comes back, or even if there's a showcase match on the road, which there's been a few. Some guys from Let's Wrestle are coming up on the Limitless roster. Like two of the greatest ones were CJ Cruz and the Prize, Alex Price.
Yep.
I think I said, yep.
Prize City OG, technically.
He ain't on this. He ain't on this show.
He ain't on this. This ain't about him.
Yeah. So I want to know, are we ever going to see a rematch between you and the masshole Mike McCarthy? I'm a masshole too. So
you are a masshole, and thanks to Mike McCarthy, I actually hate all of you people. So you have him to blame for that.
Why? Massholes are pretty cool people. Most of us.
Most of you. But then you got Mike McCarthy coming up here, picking boogers and shoving them in my freaking mouth. So, how am I
haven't eaten anything yet, so skip this topic then.
I'm just saying, this is what I went through. And I wrestled him for like an entire year. I mean, if you look at who I wrestled in 2019, it was like Mike McCarthy in Maine, Mike McCarthy in Vermont, Mike McCarthy in Massachusetts. I mean, we were just all over the place.
People really like Strange and McCarthy together.
They
That
really
could be
like, yeah.
that could be like a band or a singer if you think about it. Maybe form a band with him. You can be best friends.
he
Strange
he would
McCarthy.
Strange McCarthy. He would like that. I think he would like that. I think he secretly thinks I'm wicked cool, but he's lame. So yes, you in the back. Yes, you're raising your hand.
Now, or you could be a tag team and also be Strange McCarthy.
Now, the thing about that is, I don't know how well I would be able to coexist with McCarthy, within a room with him for more than like 60 to 90 seconds. I feel like tensions usually rise high after that. We're two very different people, you got to understand. I am a very well classically trained professional wrestler. He's dirty, disgusting, covered in tattoos, picks his nose, etc., etc. I'm young, spry at the beginning of my career, have very few injuries. He is all beat up, beaten down. He's old. You get the picture. So if you're asking if I'm still bitter, the answer is maybe a little bit. And if you're asking if I would like to have another shot at the title,
Yes, that's what the question was. Are you to go back after Mike McCarthy?
that is my plan. Now, will Randy Carver allow that? I don't know. Because Randy has some thing about Mike. He gives him favoritism. He made. First of all, he allowed Mike to pick the match stipulation. That I lost my title in. And I didn't have any say in that. There was nothing I could do about it. And then lo and behold, I lost because there were no rules in the match. Well, if there's no rules in the match, then a psycho like McCarthy is obviously going to win. But you put me in a real wrestling match, I am not going to lose, and I proved that. And I still consider myself the longest reigning champion of Let's Wrestle because Mike McCarthy technically is, but where the hell's he been? We've been in the middle of a pandemic. So I say that doesn't count. I am still the longest reigning champion. McCarthy has very few title defenses. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Now, compared to the Limitless roster, there's a tag team. They're the stable tag team in Maine, the Maine State Posse. I'm talking Danger Kid and Eddie Andro. So they're a tag team when it's the Limitless. But in Let's Wrestle, they're kind of split. They're not really a tag team. They're singles competitors. You had to defend your title against both of them at a show. What's it like?
Oh, those guys, they go hard. Actually, my match with Aiden Agro is one of my favorite matches that I've had, really, just in general. It's nice to see them get to branch out. Let's Wrestle be a little area where they can really hone their skills as singles performers because they're already so good as a tag team, and they already have that as their brand going outside of the state and down at Limitless. So, it's awesome that they get to come up or they get to. I thought I was getting an alert on there. Don't like gingers. Well, let me say this.
Well, you said you like Aiden Agro more. So, in Danger Kid, he's a ginger. So, like, what do you have against gingers?
Well, if you're gonna put me on the spot, I don't like him very much. All right. No. My first match in Let's Wrestle, the main event of the first show, I believe, was me versus Danger Kid, if I'm not mistaken. And he beat me, unfortunately. So I'm still a little bitter about that. I beat Aggro, so it's easier for me to be a little humble, and give him a little bit of praise. But I still have some beef to squash with Danger Kid there, to be honest. So what's it like wrestling them? A little bit unfulfilling if you've only beaten one of the two.
Now, this has been really fun. I'm out of questions, but we did hit the goal.
We did.
Oh wait, actually, I have one more question. You said that you stream. What are you streaming on?
Yes.
I hope it's not the Hub, because if that's your side job compared to wrestling. A little
Well,
weird.
I mean, hey, if I can get the money doing it, then hey, just let me know. Hit me up, anybody. Here's my thing. Yes, I am going to be streaming. I've not done this yet. I have dabbled here and there with little streams that I've never announced before. I did very, unprofessionally slapped together. There's this new video game that came out called Wrestling Empire. It was made by this one guy. It's got a hilarious look to it. It has a big career mode. Several wrestlers can be on screen at the same time. It just looks very funny. And it just occurred to me that, I need to be doing something to get back into, the wrestling world in some way, shape, or form. So basically, I have decided to start streaming, and I'm going to try and stream once a week. As of right now, it's on Saturdays from 2 to 5, so I'm doing it a couple hours or an hour and a half after we're done with this. And I'm going to be playing this Wrestling Empire game, and I think it's just going to be hilarious. My Twitch name is Kalvin_the_strange, so Kalvin the Strange. You can follow me on Twitch, and you can tune in. I don't know when this drops, but it'll probably be too late. And it's Saturdays as of right now from 2 to 5. So that's basically what I'm trying to do.
This will be out in like half an hour. So
all right, sweet. We might be able to get some last minute viewers. So if anybody's listening to this, come on over and hang out with me because I have no idea what I'm doing.
What's up, Mom? Hey. Oh, okay. Hang on, I'll come with you. No, we'll go later. We're supposed to drop a gift off at one of my. He's kind of like my mentor for interviewers. His name's Don Kincaid. He's traveled all over New England.
All right.
Shows, and he does like his own interviews. So he's taught me how to use Skype and how to record and all that. We did a thing. We have a thing called the Fan Roundtable that he created. So it's like a bunch of wrestling fans that are locals, and we usually have a special guest. A couple months ago, I came up with an idea to do like the Fan Roundtable award show, and I ended up getting like actual trophies, like just like Dollar Tree trophies, like not like expensive, like first place, like
right. Yeah.
That's not in the budget.
Yeah, no, not quite. I bet.
So I came up with all the categories, and one of the things was the best host award, and there's been 3 people: me, another guy, and then my mentor Don Kincaid, and the award was a penis. It said world champion, and it had a penis-shaped trophy and like a bow around it. So I've been meaning to drop that off to him. So
yeah, right. You got to get him his major award. I mean, he's gonna love it.
So before we end, is there anything that you would like to ask me? I like to flip the script.
Flip the script on me. Well, I mean, I just learned a little bit about you, that you got into doing this through your little mentor there, and you got your group going like that. This podcast, I guess my question for you is how do you get this podcast out there? Do you have an RSS feed or anything like that, or do you post it to your social media? Where do you upload it? I'm just curious.
Can you speak English? I have no idea what an RSS is.
Okay, well, an RSS feed, like my podcast, I have to have a website. And yeah, I've already put him to sleep here. I have the website, and then the website is like this whole freaking process. It's very complicated. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just download it to my computer, and then I upload it to YouTube, and then I'll share it on Twitter and Facebook.
There you go.
I'll tag the person too. So
there you go. Well, one last plug for me.
Is there anything?
The website.
Wait, I like to ask.
Oh, I stepped on your toes. I know you gotta go. I know you gotta be delivering the presents. We're almost hitting the 30-minute mark. That's one of the, it's crunch time. And I know you were going to ask me about that. You were going to ask me about that. So I'm not saying, if anybody's listening, this man is very kind and he understands that I need to plug my stuff. So I'm stepping over his toes.
Is there anything that you would like to promote on this?
KalvinStrange.com. Simple as that. KalvinStrange.com. I have my own website. My whole goal this year is to be as consistent with posting in my blog, which can be anything from high quality to very low quality. And I'm also trying to do a weekly podcast, a weekly stream. You're going to find more about my stuff on my website than you will on social media, because as we discussed earlier, I am not always the most active on social media.
No,
So
no,
that's
he is
about it.
not. If you send him a message in August, he probably won't reply until
If you set up a
January.
podcast in August, then you might get it done by January 23rd.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Amos, for your time today. I'm just kidding.
It's a
Thank you,
shameful
Calvin
thing.
Shane.
Yeah, thanks, Donovan. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you for your time today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next interview. Follow him on all the social medias.